Dive into the fascinating world of radio's notorious shock jock, Howard Stern, and his surprising inability to name a single favorite from the Beatles' legendary catalog. Does this reveal a true fanatic or just someone dodging the tough choice? It's a riddle that has Beatles fans buzzing everywhere. Credits: Far Out / YouTube Still. Sunday, December 14, 2025, 1400 hours UK. Howard Stern, the outspoken king of radio known for his unfiltered interviews and bold opinions, has a deep passion for the Beatles that shines through in many of his shows. For those new to Stern's world, he's a legendary broadcaster who built his career on pushing boundaries and sparking debates, often grilling celebrities with his signature mix of humor and intensity. When it comes to music, he's no casual listener. He dives headfirst into discussions about bands, and the Beatles hold a special place in his heart as the ultimate group, far surpassing others in his esteem. Of course, we can't overlook his admiration for other rock giants from the UK, like the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin, who rank as strong contenders just behind the Fab Four. But in Stern's view, no one could ever topple the Beatles from their throne as the greatest band ever. He's not just a fan. He's obsessed, devouring their music and history with genuine enthusiasm. This obsession has even led to some incredible opportunities, like chatting with the last two surviving members of the band. Stern has hosted both Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr on The Howard Stern Show, where they've shared insider stories and insights into what life was like as part of this iconic quartet. Imagine hearing first-hand tales from the creators themselves. It's the kind of access that makes any true Beatles enthusiast green with envy. For Stern, these interviews are like treasure hunts, unearthing nuggets of behind-the-scenes magic that fans dream of. Given his intense love for the band, it's no surprise he brings them up frequently during guest appearances. While some guests might find these deep dives into Beatles lore a bit exhausting in the tight confines of a radio booth, others eagerly join in, swapping stories and opinions about the group Stern claims to know inside out. It's all part of the fun, creating moments of genuine connection over shared musical passions. So picture this. When a rising country star like Jelly Roll appeared on the show in 2024 and asked Stern to pick his all-time favorite Beatles song, you'd think he'd launch into a passionate monologue, dissecting the genius of a track that's captured his imagination since day one or one that tugs at his emotions in a profound way. Maybe he'd talk about its lyrics, melody, or cultural impact, something to showcase his expertise. But here's where it gets controversial. Stern's reply was surprisingly short and evasive, leaving fans like us scratching our heads. He praised the album Rubber Soul as a masterpiece for beginners. Rubber Soul is the Beatles' 1965 release that marked a shift toward more introspective and experimental sounds, blending folk, rock, and even early hints of psychedelia, and suggested Norwegian Wood as a possible pick. Yet, he quickly backpedaled, saying there couldn't be such a thing as a favorite Beatles song because they're all incredible. "How do you write that many good songs?" he quipped, almost as if the sheer volume of brilliance makes choosing impossible. Now, this response feels like a bit of a cop-out, or perhaps a teaser for a longer chat he saves for less rushed moments. It would have been thrilling to hear him elaborate on why Norwegian Wood stands out. Maybe its innovative use of a sitar, which brought Indian influences into rock music, or its clever storytelling through a simple, folk-like narrative that feels both personal and universal. Instead, he missed a chance to compare notes with Jelly Roll, whose own favorite is the haunting Eleanor Rigby, a track from the Revolver album that explores loneliness in a stark, orchestral style. And this is the part most people miss. Why not engage in that back and forth? It could be that Stern's top pick has shifted over time, making it hard to settle on just one. He's called Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, from Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band a religious experience. For context, Sgt. Pepper's is their groundbreaking 1967 album, often hailed as a psychedelic masterpiece, and that song's carnival-like chaos and vivid imagery make it a standout. He's also raved about every track on that album as flawless, which raises the question: is it fair to say no song is better than the rest? Or is this just Stern's way of avoiding commitment? That said, it wouldn't be out of character for the shock jock to throw out opinions without much depth, especially since he's known for dismissing other legendary bands or albums as phony or outdated. Stern thrives on stirring up reactions, feeding off others' views, but when pressed for his own unprompted thoughts, he sometimes shuts down, lacking the nuance his vast knowledge implies. If Norwegian Wood really is his go-to, fine, But a little enthusiasm wouldn't hurt, right? It subtly begs the question. Does his reluctance to pick a favorite undermine his status as a Beatles expert, or is it a humble admission of their unmatched greatness? What do you think? Can you really not have a favorite Beatles song? Or is Stern just playing it safe? Share your own top pick or debate his stance in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take. Related topics. Never miss a beat. The Far Out Beatles newsletter. All the latest stories about the Beatles from the independent voice of culture. Straight to your inbox.